So this is Algebra 1, Semester 1, and it's the unit called Equations, the first one. And it's the fourth lesson, Every Number is a Fraction. It's on creatormath.com under the Algebra tab. You might have to Google creatormath.weebly.com to find the site. The instructions are copy the following problems into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. Here's the website, creatormath.weebly.com. Home page should look like this. Scroll down from this home page and make sure you can find composition book. If you're having trouble with anything on the composition book, just follow the directions, watch the videos, and follow the due dates. If you don't have 100% on that book, then it's because you're not doing something on this list. Okay, just go back and find it and make it right, and we will regrade it. So we're going to go to the Algebra 1 tab now because that's where all the video lessons, the problem sets, the notes for your comp book, and of course the vocabulary. There's an entire study PDF here of all vocabulary used for Algebra 1, technical vocabulary for the entire school year. And it is searchable, you guys. Just Google, how do I search a PDF with whatever device you're using. It's a little bit different for each one. Now I'm going to find the semester for this video. So I'm going to scroll to, this one's in semester 1. This is the table of contents for semester 1. It should have been written already by you on pages 2 through 6 of your composition book. If you haven't done it already, please stop what you're doing now. Watch the video on how to number the pages of your comp book, and then watch the videos of excellent comp books. You'll get an idea right away of what that table of contents looks like. It's this right here. And we're in the first unit called Equations, and we are on lesson 4. So notice there's 7 lessons in, there's 9 lessons in Equations, and we're on number 4 right here. So this is an interesting one, to me at least, called Every Number is a Fraction. Here are the pages it goes on. These notes go on in your comp book. Please don't take this video's word for it, but go back and find the actual table of contents at the time you're viewing this. These page numbers probably will have changed. Here are the notes for your comp book. Fair warning, I have to open it twice sometimes to get it to load. There it loaded the first time. You should be able to expand it all the way and then be able to see them, right? You can't see them when they're small. You have to expand it. So this is talking about how if you have a number 5, then it's not really 5, it's 5 over 1. 5 over 1 is a fraction, right? So every number is a fraction is a little bit of a stretch, maybe technically has some issues to it, but it helps students understand what's going on here, right? Then the other idea, if you have 2 and 3/4, what position is the 2 in? We know in a fraction there's a numerator and a denominator. If you just have a 2 sitting there, what position is it in? Well, it's 2 over 1. So every number is in the numerator position if the 1 is not shown. Students have trouble with that too. This is the rule of 3 ones. 1 times a value raised to the 1 power divided by 1. The 3 ones are not shown. All right, we'll talk about that. Here's about how to remove fractions from equations. A little bit on that. Make sure you're copying these into your comp book. Numerator, denominator under vocabulary review. 3 invisible ones, mixed number, improper fracture, and there is no middle position in math, you guys. There's only numerator and denominator. So if you have a number, it's got to be one or the other. It's either numerator or denominator. So this is a simple question. Is 5 a fraction? And I'm just going to argue to you for this lesson, yes, 5 over 1 is a fraction, and so it is a fraction, right? And technically speaking, the rule of invisible ones is there's 1 times 5, it's 5 to the 1 power, and it's over 1. Now, we're not going to write all those invisible ones. We're just going to write 5, right? So, but if you just think about it for a second, every number is a fraction, and this might help you understand some of the complexities of positions of numbers, either numerator or denominator. There is no middle position. So is x a fraction? Yes, because it's over 1. Is 3 a fraction? Yes, it's over 1. Is the expression x squared a fraction? Yes, because x squared is over an invisible 1. Is the power on the number 2? What is the power on the number 2? Oh, so here's a number 2, and here's the power. It's invisible. So what's the power on the number 2? It's 1. Right? We don't show it, you guys. It's default. Default means it's there. We just aren't going to list it. It's invisible. Why show it? It's too much time wasted. But that makes things challenging for students because they're like, what do you mean it's sitting there? Can't see it. right? Given a variable, how many invisible ones are there? There's 3. So let's say we have an x. There's a power 1 that's invisible. It's divided by 1, and it's multiplied by a 1. There's 3 invisible ones. It's called the 3 invisible ones rule. Given the number 5, is it in the numerator? Okay, so here's a 5. Tell me, is it numerator or denominator? Well, it's over 1, so it's numerator. Okay? I mean, it seems really simple, but trust me, we all struggle with this when we're in math in middle school and high school, where this really gets confusing. All right, given the number 3, what number is in the denominator position? So this is 3. It's in the numerator. What's in the denominator? 1, right there. Given 2 1/4, this is a what? 2 1/4 is a mixed number. Mixed number. That's a review from way back when, right? But you need to know it. Just go back and think about it again. Given 9/4. 9/4, we have a larger number on top. This is an improper fraction. And remember, you can divide the 4 into 9 2 times and 1 left over, so 2 1/4 is an equivalent value to 9/4. How do you go back? You take the 4 times the 2, and that's 8, plus the 1, which is 9, and you're back to 9/4. Right? Just a reminder. I know it's a while back. So, given 9/4, this can be spoken as 9 divided by 4. This fraction bar, this is literally called a fraction bar, and a fraction means divided by. Okay, that's literally what it means. You can literally speak it out. Divided by, quote, end quote. Given 2/3 plus 5x equals 20, how can the 3 in the denominator position be removed? So you have a fraction 2/3 plus 5x equals 20. This is an equation. We don't like this at all. Well, by multiplying the entire thing by 3 over 1, we multiply a 3 here, we multiply a 3 here, and we multiply a 3 here, right? So these 3's cancel, so you're left with just 2 plus 3 times 5x is 15x equals 3 times 20 is 60. Right, so now we have no more fractions left. We can go ahead and solve this equation in a little bit maybe clearer head manner, right? This doesn't just blow my mind. I can get to something simpler. That's how you remove a denominator from an equation. All right, given a 6, how many invisible ones are there? There's 3, you guys. It's 6 over 1 times 1 raised to the 1 power. Given a fraction, the line in between the numerator and the denominator is literally called the fraction bar. If you've got 1/4, this is called a fraction bar. Given the mixed fraction 5 3/4, the 5 is in what position? So this really blows the mind of students. If you write this on the board and you say name the positions, right? Students will pretty much always say numerator. Okay. They will then say denominator. And so, denominator, can I spell that right? So what position is this? It looks like it's in the middle at the same level of the fraction bar, right? Well, no, this is really 5 over 1, which pushes it up to this, 5 over 1 to the 3/4. Okay, and that's a little bit better understanding of what that is. This is also in the numerator position. This position here of the 5 is the numerator. A very simple review of every number is a fraction. Match up the title of this video with the problem set you're doing. It's Algebra 1, Semester 1. It's the first unit called Equations. It's the 4th lesson called Every Number is a Fraction, and it's on creatormath.com under the Algebra 1 tab.